Radio Play Comics is meant to adapt the stories mostly of great unadapted, old and forgotten comics from the past. I use voice acting and narration to abridge the work as much as possible without lessening its impact, and to bring these stories to life the best way I can. Please enjoy. Hi, I'm Nick, and welcome to the Future in Space for today's episode of Radio Play Comics, Superman, Where Is Thy Sting? The title is taken from a Bible quote referring to death, and this is a unique Superman story also by the writer of Moonshadow, j.m.dematteis, that shows off his artistic sensibilities with a wider view of a long-established hero, a view that extends to the end of time and the universe itself, in fact. The stunning artwork was drawn by Liam McCormick Sharp, who is well known in the art world for his work ranging from Green Lantern and Wonder Woman to Conan the Barbarian and fantastical space epics. Superman Where Is Thy Sting was published in 2001 as a standalone prestige format special, the proper term for a softcover book with a spine. And this sort of experimental and artistic thing went for about $6 back then, if you can believe it. This story finds Clark suffering visions of planetary doom, Kryptons and Earths among them, and other manifestations of his survivor's guilt, coming through as horrible hallucinations and visions during his daily life. He resolves to face this challenge like any other, though, and with Lois at his side, he turns his thoughts inward, much like Batman does in the fantastic Batman Ego by Darwin Cook, which I've also adapted on this channel, and Superman confronts his own mortality, the fact that he will someday die, as will we all, as well as existence itself. This manifestation appears as the spirit of death, a personal grim reaper representing death as a cosmic force, but also Superman's individual death, and these visions express death's frustration that Superman may seemingly just go on to live forever. This incarnation of death takes him forward in time again and again to show Superman distant future times he may live to, and what his life will be like then, as all the people and enemies die off and leave him to find new meaning in his life, and new heroics to perform, until death thinks up the next illusion and the next challenge. It's a philosophical journey sort of book, not heavy on the action, but I find it to be an excellent example of the kind of story you can only tell with Superman. I may as well state that I love the James Gunn Superman movie. I think it may be my favorite of all time, and I think Gunn nailed his character better than any movie version since Christopher Reeve. In fact, if you do count Chris's as embodying the pre-Crisis Superman comics, which you should since all his movies came out before 1985, then the James Gunn version is the best representation we have of the modern Superman, from 1986 forward. Note that original 1986 Clark and his Lois did end up surviving the New 52 era of DC Comics, and remains the main Superman character in publication today. Now that movie should have plenty of action for you all to enjoy. I've seen it 5 times and I'm not tired of it yet. So take a slower paced walk on the more cerebral side of Superman with me and these talented artists. I doubt you'll regret the journey. And then let's all go watch the movie again. Stories like this are like the movie in one important respect, and that is that they use Superman as the vehicle for the story to go places no other character could, such as the distant heat death of the universe, to see a Superman long beyond names, slowly guiding the final surviving alien ships to the last living stars, and to face his own end and what must certainly lie beyond. Superman isn't really the point of the story, which is what I think Snyder got wrong. He didn't look beyond Superman to see what the real point of the story should be, the journey or adventure he's involved in. Any Superman comic fan worth his salt, though, will tell you that's the real drive behind the character, and almost always has been. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, hopefully you will by the end of this story. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show. Part 1. Sole Survivor. The streets of Metropolis are filled with smiling faces. I can feel their eyes on me as I fly over the city, and I know it's only a matter of moments before someone cries out, "Look, up in the sky! It's Superman!" Huh. You'd think that, after all these years, they'd be used to me. But every day, eyes bulge, fingers point, they cheer, they shout, they stare in slack-jawed awe. No matter how many times they've seen me, it's like their first encounter. And you want to know the truth? It's the same for me. Every time I put on this suit, leap a tall building, see Metropolis spread out below me. Superman carries a man from a car hanging from a bridge. Every time I save a life, right or wrong, stop a bad guy, I'm just as awed, just as wonderstruck as they are. He shrugs off an alien beam weapon. Being Superman isn't easy. No job worth its salt is. But really, who could ask for anything more? Superman flies under a large airplane, narrowly pushing it out of the path of another. Not because I get to pound on supervillains or get my face on the front page of the Daily Planet. Not because of the fame and glory. That nonsense doesn't matter. It never did. He stops a car from running over a small child. What matters to me, what's always mattered, is that I get to help people. Ordinary people, just like the folks I grew up with back in Kansas. Sure, there's a sense of satisfaction when I stop an intergalactic threat, avert some planetary catastrophe. Clark slugs a monstrous warrior in a crater. But the fact of the matter is, I get even more satisfaction out of the little things. The simple things. My pa used to say, "Clark, there's no big or small in this life. Lend a helping hand to one person, and you've just saved the world." And flies a young girl up to rescue her cat from a tree. That's why I feel a debt of gratitude to every soul down there. They put their trust in me, and I pray every morning when I awake, every night before I go to sleep, that I'm worthy of it, and of them. Before his horrified eyes, Superman sees Metropolis below vanish into chaos and darkness in a flash. After a moment, it passes. What was that? For an instant I could have sworn that it was... No, it's impossible. Isn't it? And Superman flies on. Don't know why I even bothered to come to the office today. I've been sitting at my desk like a zombie all morning. I feel dazed, almost feverish, and my hands, they're trembling. What is the matter with me? Distracted by his blurring vision, Clark bumps into Lois.
Well, for one thing, you just spilled coffee over your wife's new dress. What planet are you on today? I've never seen you so... Clark? Come on, we're going for a walk.
But
Don't make me get rough with you, big guy.
she takes his arm and leads him outside. One thing I learned a long time ago. You don't argue with Lois Lane. That I could feel their thoughts. The thoughts of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. And they were so afraid. They were...
If you were anyone else, I'd say it was overwork. Tell you to go home, take a hot bath, have a nap, and forget about it.
Sounds like good advice to me.
Do you think that this was, I don't know, some kind of telepathic attack? An old enemy who's found a way to get into your head and...
No, it wasn't like that. I was really there, Lois.
Where?
My home world, Krypton. I know how crazy that must sound.
You're a lot of things, Smallville, but crazy's not one of them. Whatever it is, you'll work it out. We'll work it out. Together.
And when she says it, I believe it. With all my heart. Superman may be a symbol of hope to the world, but my symbol of hope is my wife. Lois pulls Clark into a deep kiss, and he closes his eyes. She's everything to me. More important than Smallville or Metropolis, Earth or Krypton. When he opens them, though, Clark sees total devastation as alien machines explode all around them.
What's the matter?
Don't you see it?
See what? See what, Clark?
A wounded man in Kryptonian dress staggers toward him.
I don't understand. Our people are dying. Our world is dying.
Clark reaches out to him as he collapses.
Why aren't you?
The vision fades again, leaving Clark grasping at a ghost.
Clark, please answer me.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry? About what?
I don't know. It's like reality's become unstuck. The whole world feels like it's dissolving.
Just hang on, Smallville. And don't worry. We're gonna get you some help.
She had every right to whisk me off to a psychiatrist's office, and in a way, I suppose she did. But the psychiatrist in question is a green man from Mars, and his office is in Justice League headquarters on the moon. So, you're suggesting a telepathic probe?
If anyone's been fiddling with his psyche, Jean, you're the guy who can figure it out.
But, Jean, I don't want anyone else to know about this. What transpires here today is between us, and only us. And now, shall we begin? I've known John Johns for more years than I'd care to count, and there are few men on any world I respect and trust more than him. But, even so, a part of me is suddenly afraid of him. No, not of Jean, but of what he'll find. Jean reaches toward Superman's body. The mind is not simply contained in the head. Every cell in our bodies resonates with memories, intelligence. Every atom of our being holds clues to who and what we are. And those clues are enfolded in the energy field that surrounds each living thing. I'm going to gently probe your field, Clark, in hopes of finding. But his hand is violently repelled before he makes contact, seeming to burst into flame. Jean? What is it? Jean clutches his head in pain.
Mir.
You all right?
I believe so.
So, did you pick up anything?
Clark helps him up.
Enough to know that there is no outside force influencing your husband's mind. Whatever is happening is being generated from within, from his own unconscious.
But what made you fall back, Jean?
While I probed you, an energy wave from inside your mind erupted, enveloped me, forced me out. You have a formidable consciousness, my friend.
Huh. Tell us something we don't already know.
Very well. These mental rifts will not be stopped by anyone but Superman himself. But how can I? Your conscious mind may not be aware of the solution, but be assured, your unconscious does.
Be assured? Can't you see how all this is affecting him? How?
I have learned to respect the mind's ability to heal itself, to provide the information it needs when it needs it.
What kind of Martian psychobabble are you trying to...
Jean, you muttered something when my mind forced you out.
I did? How curious.
I assume it was in your native language. What is...
Mir? The name of the Martian god of death.
A dark cloud swirls about the watchtower, obscuring the gleaming spire on the surface of the moon. The Martian god of death? Of all the thoughts in the universe, why would that one rise up in Jean's mind as he journeyed through mine? I wonder about that as Lois and I head back to Earth, and I'm profoundly disturbed, though I can't really say why. I called Perry White and tell him that I need a little time off. Personal business. He tells me the Daily Planet can survive without me for a few days, and wishes me well. And I thank him, because I need all the good wishes I can get. Lois confronts Clark in bed.
What?
I thought you were asleep.
How can I sleep with you worrying like that?
How do you know I'm worrying?
I'm your wife, dummy. You may be a big mystery to the world, but not to me.
I didn't know that you were psychic.
If I had, we could have saved ourselves a trip to the moon.
There's a lot you don't know about me, Smallville. Now come on, talk to me.
I don't know what to say. It's like there's something inside of me. Something that's always been there, and yet I've never known it. Like background music in a movie, you know? You're so involved in the story that you don't even notice it. And then all of a sudden you hear the horns blaring in your ears.
You're scared, aren't you?
Sounds stupid, huh? I've faced things that most men could never face. I've died and come back again. But, Lois, there's a fear in me I can't explain. No, deeper than fear. Almost a blind panic. What's that? Superman sees a burning object streak across the sky.
What? I don't see anything.
He vaults into the air and races after it. Hated to just leave like that. But that rocket's heading straight for the heart of Metropolis, and if I don't stop it... Superman grabs the front of the missile to turn it. And it smashes into the ground. At least I managed to divert it out to the country. Not a soul for miles. But doing it took everything I've got. And then some. But why? I should have been able to deflect it without breaking a sweat. No time to worry about that. Got to make sure there's no one aboard this ship. Tried to see inside while I was wrestling it to Earth. But there's some kind of shield blocking my heightened vision. Superman tears the metal casing of the rocket away. Clearly alien in design, and yet it seems familiar. If I didn't know better, I'd swear it was Huh? Inside, he finds the corpse of a tiny baby. He cradles it in sorrow. Suddenly, the child's eyes glow green.
Why aren't you dead?
And it slashes his face with a claw-like hand. Huh? Gone. The rocket, the baby, gone. But it was right here. At least, I thought it was. But it couldn't have been real, could it? The design of that vessel was Kryptonian, and the child inside, what was left of him. Visions of death swirl around Superman, reflecting his fears of an uncertain reality. No, what I'm thinking, it's insane. Jor-El sent me here to Earth over 30 years ago, and I survived the trip. I lived. I thrived. But what if I didn't? What if that burnt and shriveled creature was me? What if all these years, my life as Clark Kent and Superman both, had been a dream? What if I'm really... Got to stop this. Got to stop right now. I'm alive. I'm alive. And this is all some kind of hallucination. What's that? Those voices again. Inside me. All around me. Voices of desperation. Fear. Crying out to me. Cursing me. The voices of my home world. The voices of Krypton. Not real, not real, not real! What do you want from me? What do you want? I didn't plan this. It's not my fault I made it out. It's not my fault. That I survived. He leaps into the sky from the crater. Get out of my head! All of you! Get the hell out of my head! I fall, like a comet, like a shooting star, toward Metropolis. And I can feel Lois watching. I can hear her heart pounding, her panicked whisper.
My God, Clark!
And I want her to save me, but I know she won't. No one can save me. No one should save me. Because I don't deserve to live! How did I get here? Clinging to the massive globe atop the Daily Planet building, desperate and afraid. But why should I be afraid? I'm Superman. Nothing can hurt me. Nothing in all the universes. Nothing except...
The globe turns green in his grasp and rolls as if to crush him.
No, it's not the planet globe. It's Krypton. It's Krypton. And I killed her. And as we tumble through space, this dying world and I pray that this time I'll have the sense to die with her.
Superman strains to bear the weight of an entire world.
Superman! Clark! The police are coming! There's going to be a huge crowd here any minute. You've got to get up, Smallville. You've got to come with me.
Just leave me here, Lois. Just let me.
If you love me, you'll get up, Clark. If you love me, you'll live.
Summoning his will, Clark shoves the globe off of himself. And Lois leads him away.
She takes me home. I try to rest. Why? But I can't shut out the voices and the terrible guilt.
Why what, darling?
A whole planet decimated. Millions of people, and only one survived.
Clark clings to Lois as tears spill from his eyes.
Why me, Lois? Why did I live?
Krypton was going to die no matter what. For all the warnings, your father's noblest efforts, it was destined to happen. But on a world where emotion was seen as a liability, two people loved each other, loved you, enough to want to save you, to give you hope, and through you bring hope to another world. And to me. I hate to think of who I'd be, the turns my life would have taken, if I'd never met you. But the fact is, I was born to find you. Nothing in all the universe could have kept us apart. You're right. An entire planet died, and you lived. You want to call it some kind of curse? Fine. But me? I call it grace.
Lois kisses him as her tears join his own.
I hold her in my arms. Feel the warmth of her body pressed against mine. Feel the warmth of her soul. And I'm complete. All fear, all guilt, all confusion and pain washed away on an ocean of love. But suddenly the room grows cold, and so does she. Her lips tremble, then grow still. Her body goes slack in my arms. Heartbeats dangerously slow. Breathing shallow. Brainwaves erratic. Lois! Dear Lord, she's dying!
Every creature in creation is dying. From the instant it's born. It's only a matter of time.
Part 2. The Immortal. A dark and skeletal figure appears as red mist surrounds Superman, blocking out the world.
Don't worry about your wife, son of Krypton. Her demise is not yet ordained. I have simply placed her, and your city with her, into a kind of stasis, so that you and I can get acquainted in a more intimate fashion.
He hurls me effortlessly through the wall, my atoms dissolving and reforming as I pass through it, my costume materializing around me as I go. Is this really happening to me, or is it just...
Another hallucination? I suppose you could say that. Isn't life itself just an extended hallucination? An unfolding dream that we drift through, with no more solidity than that wall?
Superman falls through panels on the page as he falls through time and the sky, while the figure of death mocks him from outside of their structure.
Oh, we think the world has substance, that our lives have meaning, but it's all just a swiftly passing fancy, a fevered delusion, a lie. And time is the grandest lie of all. We scramble to hold it back, drain every last drop from the cup of ages. But we blink, and a decade passes. Breathe deep, and find ourselves tumbling headlong.
His fall from the sky ends in an open plot in a cemetery.
Into the grave.
Clark kneels by Lois, lying immobile on a bed.
So many years we've been together, Lois. How did they go by so fast? Wasn't it just yesterday when you were young, vibrant, and full of life? When did you grow so old, so tired? When did your body betray you? Your mind collapse in on itself? So many years we've been together, and now, my sweet love, I'm alone. And alone I fly, my heart torn in two, my grief unbearable.
Superman wears a black bodysuit in a far future world filled with advanced robotics and megacities.
A part of me feels disassociated, as if I don't belong here, as if I'm part of another life, another time. Is this really Metropolis in the year 2050? Have I just buried the woman I love more than life itself? A part of me refuses to believe it, wants to deny it with every fiber of my being. But all the denials in the universe can't alter the truth. My wife is dead, and without her, I'm dead too.
A massive conglomeration of wires and spikes, claws and defensive shells lurches through the sky after him.
Look at you, the great Superman, tears streaming down your face. What a wonderful performance!
Within its crystal-domed carapace, what was once a human head is supported by countless machines sustaining its life.
No, not him. Not now.
But you can't fool me. I don't believe you ever felt anything for her. Your humanity is just an act, alien. You're a cold and soulless thing.
Not Luthor.
They call me inhuman because I transferred my consciousness into this robotic shell. But the real monster is you, alien. And now that Lois has gone, I can rid the world of you at last.
Superman is blasted with a huge bolt of energy. The Luthor robot grabs Superman with cables and wires, reforming itself around him as he struggles.
I've known for some time who you really are. I mean, please, did you think those idiotic glasses were fooling me? But for all of my hatred of you, I restrained myself. I wanted to kill you. I could have killed you, but I didn't. Out of respect for her. She deserved better than you, alien. She deserved me.
Sucking me down into his cybernetic entrails, bathing me in kryptonite radiation, toxins flooding my bloodstream. I'm dying, and I don't care. Better death than another instant without her. Better death.
His hand, just before it disappears inside the robotic shell, forms a fist. Superman bursts free of the Lutherbot with explosive force.
No!
Tearing the enormous cybernetic homunculus apart.
Down there is the city. Our city. Metropolis meant everything to us. Symbolized our love, our hope, and the hope of the world. Giving up, surrendering to grief and death, is a betrayal of the millions of people who put their faith in me. A betrayal of all that's truest and highest in my soul. A betrayal of my sweet Lois. And that I will never do. I have no doubt Luthor's already transferred his consciousness to another cybernetic host. But that doesn't matter. What does matter is that I've made a choice. In Lois's name, I choose life. Huh?
Clark comes back to reality, still in Lois's arms.
That kiss really knocked your socks off, huh? Huh. Glad to know I've still got it.
Lois! For a minute, I thought...
Thought what?
You were... And I... That is... Oh, who cares? Let's go.
Go where?
Home.
Soon they fly in low over the Kent farm.
She tells me we can't just pick ourselves up and rush off to visit my folks in Smallville. We both got jobs, she says. Responsibilities. Why don't we wait a couple of weeks? Plan a proper vacation. And you know what I tell her? Life's too short.
Do-do-do. Nothing like some hot lather to give a man a terrific shake. Huh? Now what the devil was that?
Jonathan!
Pa Kent rushes downstairs.
Martha? Martha, sweetheart, are you...
Surprise!
Surprise? It's not my birthday. Oh my gosh. Martha, did I forget your birthday? Did I forget our anniversary?
Relax, Pa. You didn't forget anything. Now come on in the kitchen and have some breakfast.
Martha, when did you have time to whip up this feast?
She didn't, Pa. I did.
So, you gonna tell me what the big occasion is?
Why do we always need a big occasion to be together?
Oh, don't get me wrong, son. I'm touched. I really am. But it is 6 o'clock in the morning, and I have a whole lot of chores to do.
Clark disappears for a moment.
Consider them done.
Okay. You win. Let's eat.
There aren't two people I cherish more in all the world than Ma and Pa Kent. They shaped my spirit, encouraged and inspired me, made me into the man I am today. And yet, sitting here with them on this beautiful Kansas morning, it's like I'm seeing them with new eyes, and I don't think I've ever loved them more.
Martha and Lois watch from the porch as Clark and Jonathan walk through the fields.
Something's bothering that boy, Lois. What is it? I think he's feeling just how fragile, how brief our lives really are. Most of us have to face that hard fact each day. But him? He's used to saving the world, Ma. Making everything right. It's hard for him to realize that some things just can't be fixed.
Lois was right, son, when she said it was grace that brought you to Earth. You can't pound on yourself because you lived and they didn't. Look around you, Clark. Look at all you've done for the world. And the truth is, even if you'd never become Superman, your presence on this world has been nothing but a blessing to us and to everyone who knows you.
I hear you, Pa, but
what?
idiotic as it sounds, I never really considered, the fact that I'm going to outlive all the people I love. I feel like a little boy, suddenly aware of death for the first time. And, Pa, I don't want to lose you and Ma and Lois.
Clark turns and suddenly sees Jonathan Kent as a withered and decaying corpse.
Pa? Gone. Everything that my father was, everything he dreamed and strived for, gone. And all that's left is ashes that whirl away on a Kansas twister.
Clark watches helpless as he turns to dust and vanishes. Death manifests as a windstorm all around him.
Look around you, son of Krypton. See the crops that wither and die. See the birds falling dead from the sky. See the grass grown brown and brittle, the earth blackened beneath your feet. See the sun itself blotted out from the heavens.
Who are you?
Feel my touch and know the truth.
His glasses are torn off by the wind, and Clark falls to his knees as his skin turns old and gray. The apparition of death appears to him once again as his own body withers and his hair turns white. A huge skeletal figure tears open the veil of reality to grimace at him from beyond the tortured sky.
I am death, but not just any death, Kal-El. Your death. Each man has his own personal shadow, made in his image, reflected by his soul, that walks with him from cradle to grave. And I am yours alone. It's a frustrating job, to say the least. All of creation follows a natural cycle. The people of Krypton, all the mortal creatures that inhabit this earth, all things die in their time. But not you. Worlds will dissolve, universes will perish, yet you will go on and on and on. You are an anomaly, and you intrigue me, almost as much as you infuriate me.
Superman summons his mighty will again, and his life and vitality are restored as he challenges his new foe.
What do you want from me?
He wraps his arms around the thrashing neck of the greenish ghost.
I want you to die, and I swear, almighty Superman, you will.
Clark comes back to reality once more, still in the field with Jonathan. So what do you say we go in and sneak a piece of your ma's blueberry pie? Clark?
What? Oh. No thanks, Pa. I don't have much of an appetite.
Superman guides a space capsule safely through its burning re-entry.
Maybe what's happening is just some kind of psychotic break. Maybe after all these years, the weight of being the last survivor of a doomed world, a virtual immortal on a planet where lifetimes are tragically short, has finally gotten to me. Or maybe that really is death out there. My death. Stalking me. Whatever the case, in the days and weeks that follow, I double my determination to refute the Reaper, to stand taller than ever as humankind's symbol of hope.
He guides a flaming jet plane to the ground.
Wherever there's trouble, wherever danger threatens, wherever life is held hostage by the forces of extinction, I'm there. Lois is worried about me. Thinks I'm getting a little manic, a little desperate. And maybe I am. But in a world so fragile, so threatened, maybe desperation is what's called for.
Superman punches out a technologically enhanced maniac.
So go ahead. Send on your costumed maniacs hell-bent on world domination. Send on your alien armadas ready to conquer and dominate. I'll stop them all. I'll stop everything he's got.
Superman faces down an alien armada, disabling the lead ship in Earth orbit and warning the others.
I won't let you win, Death. Do you hear me? I won't let you win. Yet, for all my bravado, I can feel him. On the periphery of my vision, on the edges of my mind. Watching me. Laughing at me.
A car swerves as it speeds down a muddy road in the rain.
Course I go into labor early. The one weekend Bill's out of town. Course I gotta drive myself to the hospital. 11 miles in the pouring rain. And of course the contractions are coming so fast and furious that I'm gonna end up having this baby in the front seat. Huh? Now what? Car's slowing down, like it has a mind of its own. I'd almost think someone had grabbed
Excuse me,
a
ma'am.
hold of it.
Can I be of assistance?
Superman delivers the woman's baby on the roadside. He swaddles the infant in his cape.
Wow. That's all I kept saying, over and over. Wow.
Lois holds Clark's hand in hers over a romantic candlelight dinner.
She must have thought I was an inarticulate goon.
I think she had other things on her mind, Clark.
It is absolutely incredible. All my heroics, all the world-saving crusades, they mean nothing next to the joy, the sanctity of that moment.
So, has this helped you work through all this death business?
How could it not? The baby's face totally refuted everything Death, whatever he really was, said to me. New life, Lois, growing from the old. New hope being born every second of every minute of every day.
And you know something, Smallville? I'm looking forward to the day when we can bring forth some new hope of our own.
She vanishes from sight like some fading image on a television screen, and I'm suddenly sucked down into a shrieking whirlwind, assaulted by the indecipherable images that crash through my consciousness, sounds and colors that vibrate through my very atoms. And I find myself where? A place of non-time, non-space. A place between sleep and waking. Eternity. And oblivion.
Death appears to him as a skull with burning eyes, filling his world with streaming energy.
New life, you said, growing from the old. Hope being born every minute. Did you ever stop to think that the day will come when life exhausts itself? When the universe runs out of hope? And when hope dies, so dies Superman.
Superman struggles to fight the current as Death hurls him once again. But he is powerless to resist the tidal pull of the cosmic force. And disappears into the red storm.
I look up at black clouds, obscuring a dead sun. See radioactive dust being blown on screaming winds. Gaze in disbelief at a desolate landscape, a wasteland utterly devoid of life. Has he cast me across creation? Dropped me into some distant, dying galaxy? And then the horrifying realization erupts in my mind. He hasn't moved me across the universe. He's moved me across time. This is no alien planet. This is Earth.
Superman screams to the sky with regret, alone on a pillar of rock as lava flows all around it.
This is the last night of the world.
Part 3. The End of All Things. A long-haired and bearded Superman carries a primitive creature through a rocky canyon, past the skeletons of others of its kind.
For a moment, I remember a past that was radiant, filled with hope and expectation. I remember a wife, a family, friends, life. But that was long ago, before the sun exhausted its supply of hydrogen fuel. Before it became a red giant, its gravitational field drawing the Earth closer and closer to it. Before the ice caps melted. Before the floods. Before the oceans boiled and the atmosphere began to evaporate.
Superman stands by a lonely handmade grave.
The centuries have rushed by with such disturbing speed that I don't even know what year it is. I hardly even remember who I am. They called me Clark once, Kal-El. But the day came when there was no one left alive who remembered those names. The day came when all they knew was Superman. And now, even that name has been forgotten. I've tried again and again to help them, to save them, and to save this blessed Earth that has been my home. But, God forgive me, I can't. I can't! All I can do now is die. Soon the sun will completely engulf us. Soon the fires will consume everything, leaving nothing but cinders, drifting on the cosmic winds. And I wonder, as my limbs grow weak, my eyes go blind, as my lungs collapse and my cells explode, as the world melts into oblivion. He finally collapses into the dust of the earth, which begins to bury him. What was it all for?
No, Kal-El. Although you begin at long last to comprehend the futility, the horror that all living things must ultimately know, I'm not ready to take you into my arms just yet.
The death entity reaches out its monstrous hands to him.
In order to fully understand the scope of my work, you must witness it on a more vast, more convincing scale. So I grant you protection. I grant you strength. Yes. I grant you life. If only for a fleeting moment.
The earth is consumed in fire. All hope, all memory, obliterated in an instant. And yet, I don't feel it. I don't burn. I survive. As I always have.
Time swirls around them once more.
Laughing, death flings me across the void. But why? Why won't he let me rest? He's made his point. I see the hopelessness of it all. I get the cosmic joke. Why won't he let me go? And then I realize that it's not just Earth that's dying. It's the universe itself. All across the cosmos. Entropy. Dead stars collapsing inward, their energy sputtering and fading. All things, all matter in creation, dissolving, disintegrating. Ah, I thought the destruction of one world was heartbreaking. But this?
Superman falls through the swirling tunnel of time again.
This is too much for even a Superman to bear.
Clark cradles a dying alien creature in his arms as tears spill from his eyes.
Yet still the spirit of life struggles on, even as entire civilizations die. By the hundreds, by the thousands, armadas soar across space, hoping to outrun extinction. To escape the icy truth that is inexorably, inevitably, engulfing us all. And what can I do but join them?
Alien crosses mark other small, handmade graves.
I've never had to struggle like this. Never felt such weariness, such anguish, such soul-numbing dread. But this is what I was born to do. However foolish it may seem, I have to help.
The long-haired, red-robed figure leads a hairy, four-armed alien across a barren plain. Even when that help is ultimately useless. So I rescue those that can be rescued. Guide the ships toward the last living stars.
Death laughs as Superman looks back with sorrow. He enters a spaceship filled with the glow of life, where the final remnants of galactic life huddle like primitives around a campfire, seeking what warmth we can from the precious few suns that remain. But they too wink out one by one, as do the untold billions of living beings that look to them for salvation. Superman greets a cavernous space full of huddled aliens, extending a hand of friendship. But he brings them the sad news that the final star has gone out. He cannot help them. This is the end. And then, in all creation, there's nothing left but me. I walk through the corridors of a death ship, gaze out the view screen at my only companion, a single black hole, a writhing whirl of darkness within the darkness. Her energy sputters sporadically, desperately, each nuclear flash weaker than the one before, like the final fragile breaths of a dying woman. And what can I do but join my great companion, sharing the last moments of the universe with her? Then I'm suddenly aware of another presence, and I know. Superman leaves the ship, flying towards the black hole. Death is here too, hand on my back, whispering in my ear.
No matter how great,
He says in a tired voice.
how pure, eventually I must come for you, as my brothers and sisters come for all things.
Then the black hole collapses, and I collapse with her, collapse and fall into its spiraling depths. The last thing I see is that terrible face gazing down at me, not with the expected grin of triumph, no, with a look of sadness and regret. Energy streaks from Superman as he is consumed in a fatal energy storm deep within the black hole. His body disintegrates into base energy, which is then also consumed by entropy at the end of the universe. Leaving nothing but the void. I drift through a place of no time, or perhaps all time. Past and future merge into an eternal now, all moments existing simultaneously. And, even as I die, I live. A rocket carrying the baby Kal-El streaks away from the exploding planet Krypton. Racing through a Kansas cornfield, Ma's voice calling me home to supper. I feel her warmth as she catches me up in her arms. Feel her love, communicated without a single word. It lands in a Kansas field and is found by the Kents. Huh? Soaring in the belly of a metal beast, I bullet across space as Krypton explodes behind me. As Jor-El and Lara die, a part of me dying with them, and with the world I'll never truly know. 25 now, flying over the spires of Metropolis, almost giddy as my cape billows out behind me, as I ride the air currents with a child's delight and a man's pride. Working the farm with Pa, gazing up at him with all the innocent reverence a boy of 9 can muster. He's not a man. He's a god. No, he's better than a god. He's my father. I see darkness, too. Cruelty, violence, the naked lust for power.
Demonic horns adorn Clark's image of Lex Luthor, his scornful eyes hidden in shadow.
But I rise up again and again to oppose it. Not because I fear it, but because I know that humankind is inherently good, and that evil isn't a disease, but a wound that can be healed. Still, for all the cherished family, the loyal friends, the bitter foes, one face, one name rises up above the rest. Lois.
Lois wears his symbol on a sweatshirt, smiling at him with her arms folded and her hips cocked as if to say,
Really, Smallville?
Clark and Lois's souls are joined in the space beyond space and time beyond time.
If time is a dream, then she was always there, wasn't she? From the moment I took my first breath till the end of the world. Always at my side, offering me love and wisdom, companionship and challenge. My wife, my lover, my best friend. Oh, Lois, if time is a dream, then you're here now, aren't you?
Forever, Smallville. Forever.
She reaches out to me, and I feel the comfort of her hand in mine, the heat of her passion, the radiance of her heart, as our two bodies dissolve, as two souls become one.
He reaches for the golden halo surrounding Lois's face, beaming with radiant light.
Maybe I'm dead already. Maybe my consciousness is burning out, even as my flesh is consumed in the core of a dying star. Or maybe this is something more, something even death doesn't understand. Maybe this feeling we share, Lois and I, is the doorway into a place that transcends death and life, Earth and Krypton. Perhaps it isn't just time, but all of creation that's a dream. And the only thing that gives it meaning, that binds it together, is love. Dear God, is this true? Is this even real? Or am I just...
Only thing that matters, Smallville, is that we believe it. And believing it, you're free.
The radiant light fills the universe and empowers Clark's soul. It rockets away in flight, streaking beyond the bounds of the white void, revealing it was merely the eye of the death entity. Its ghostly green face fills the landscape below.
free. To rise up from the future death has imprisoned me in, the dark tomorrow that may or may not come. Free to remember my era, my home, myself, and to move across the quantum sea.
Images from our journey stream past him as he travels.
Push through the barriers of time and space, memory and emotion, and return home to the world and the life and the woman I treasure far more than I ever realized.
Death summons all its power and forms a massive wall, blocking the time tunnel. Reaching for Superman with its Brobdingnagian claws.
No, you cannot, you will not cheat death. There is a barrier no being can pass through, son of Krypton, and I am it. I am...
Superman pushes forward with grim resolve. Rocketing forth with maximum force, Superman slams into Death's jaw and through it.
blasting out the top of the gigantic creature's head. Metropolis! Shining brighter than any star in the heavens. I made it! I'm back! If I ever truly left.
You doubt me, Kal-El? Assume that I'm some delusion? A manifestation of latent guilt? Hidden fears? That in defeating me, you have defeated psychological demons that have been entombed in your mind for years?
Death now appears more angelic than monstrous. A skeletal man in armor with wings, a sword, and a flowing dark cloak.
Fine. Go on believing that, if it gives you comfort. But have you ever considered that there might be a place where mind and matter intersect? Where that which hides in our dreams takes form? Perhaps that is the world we've been walking together.
Whoever you are, whatever you are, I'm too tired for this. I can't fight another battle, wage another war.
The war is over, Kal-El, and I have come this one last time to say thank you.
Death's form begins to dissipate, the concentration of power returning to the universal elements from which it came. I don't understand.
Yes, I set out to extinguish you, to prove that death is the master of all living beings and things. But as the journey progressed, as the universe died, I became aware of an emptiness in my own soul.
Your soul?
And I soon realized that I was as much a seeker as any who walk the worlds of creation, searching for answers, for a reason to go on, a reason that you gave me. For Superman, who has been the embodiment of hope to the people of Earth, has been my hope as well. Your heart has shown me things I was too blind to see. Things, perhaps, I was not meant to see, till this moment. So I cast away death's cloak. So I widen my vision and go off into the all. As your wife said, you are free. And now, son of Krypton, so am I.
Death's form explodes into light and shadow, the energy dissolving completely and leaving Superman's aura, even as his costume vanishes as well.
Hey, Clark.
Lois stands at the door to greet him in a sheer nightgown.
What are you doing out of bed at this hour? Don't you know by now that I can't sleep without you next to me?
Lois? I'm not sure how to explain what...
You have a bad dream or something?
No, sweetheart. No. It was a wonderful dream. Let's keep on dreaming it, okay? Let's keep on dreaming it. As long as we can. She leaps into his arms and kisses him. End. Superman has a rather unique relationship with death, both as a concept as seen here, and as a reality in his daily struggles. It can be said that the fight against death itself is the central tenet he and Batman share. Both of their tragic origins showcase the idea that death is an unstoppable force in the universe and life must be preserved at all costs. I bring up Batman because I do see this as Superman's companion piece to Batman's Ego by Darwin Cook, which I've also added if you'd like to see it. Both are psychological journeys and conversations with parts of the hero's selves being cast as cosmic or unreal entities. In Batman's case, he speaks as Bruce to the concept of the Batman. Here, Superman wages a time-swept battle with death, and in the end wins his freedom from his fear of it. That's the only victory we can really hope for in that fight, after all, because death is an inevitable concept in our reality as well, and all we can do is master our own fear of it.
so we can face its challenges as best as we are able. That's life, and can be said to exist only in opposition to death. The two can never be divided from each other. What goes up must come down. Except for Superman, that is. His essential and basic impossibility as a physical being makes him the perfect choice for a story of this kind. An examination of death and life that stretches the bounds of reality. And that impossibility is reflected in his perfect moral core as well. Rather than making him irrelevant, though, I believe it makes him the best of our better angels, as Lincoln put it. The forces inside that guide us to be our best selves in order to make the world as good as it can be, recognizing the essential struggles such a fight entails. His strength then becomes our strength, if we can only just believe that good has a chance. I still do, despite everything. I hope you do as well. And for the lonely out there who have no person like Lois to focus on and bring themselves back to this time and place if need be, I'll leave you, the neediest ones, with the words of Axl Rose in the Guns N' Roses song Breakdown from Use Your Illusion 2. We all come in from the cold, we come down from the wire, and everybody warms his hands to a different fire. And sometimes we get burned, but then sometimes we learn that the one you love is the one that can take you higher. You ain't got no one, you better go back out and find 'em. Take care out there, ones and all. And, as always, thanks for watching.